Hey guys, today we have another jacket battle on our hands, this time between the Arc'teryx Cerium LT versus the Outdoor Research Helium Down Hoodie. That's next. Welcome to Backcountry Renegade. I'm Jeff. This channel is all about hiking, backpacking, and overlanding, and all the gear in between. And if you're into those things too, consider subscribing. Today we are looking at two popular jackets, the Arc'teryx Cerium LT and the Outdoor Research Helium Down Hoodie. Both these jackets are pretty popular to use out in the backcountry. They are insulated pieces with down insulation, where the Arc'teryx also has some synthetic insulation in strategic places. And the Helium actually has this shell-like material on the outside that is reinforced to allow for more weather resistance and also more durability. Both these jackets can be used as a mid-layer underneath the shell, or you can use them as a standalone jacket. They're great for all activities in the backcountry, such as skiing, snowboarding, and climbing. So let's take a look at these in more detail and see what's the best bang for your buck. The Cerium LT is one of the most popular jackets from Arc'teryx, and it's been one of my favorites for a while. It actually features premium 850 down, but also synthetic insulation in specific areas that are more prone to getting wet. It also provides a nice balance of lightweight and functionality and durability as well. It comes in various sizes and colors. This one here is in a men's small. You can also get it with a hood or without a hood. I chose to go with the hood and enjoy that. It costs new $379, and you can often find it on sale every now and then. The Outdoor Research Helium Down Hoodie is fastly becoming a very popular jacket for backpackers and outdoor enthusiasts. The reason is because this is a jacket that is durable and rugged, and for a down jacket, that is something that is pretty unique. This jacket here is the Helium line, so it goes with some of the other Outdoor Research Helium things. I have the Helium rain pants, and those are pretty good as well. The Helium line is a popular line that is a little bit more weather focused as well. So this one here is comes with strategic areas that are more reinforced, that are more prone to either abrasion or areas that are going to get wet. So in certain areas such as the shoulders, the hood, and around the arms and stuff, you actually have this weatherproof or waterproof shell. It makes it a lot more windproof as well. So as a result, you're getting a highly durable jacket, but it's still lightweight being down. This one here comes in a hooded version or non-hooded version. Again, I chose to go with the hooded versions because I enjoy hoods on these down jackets. This one is actually more of bordering the line between lightweight jacket and a midweight jacket. It does feature 800 filled down. It's a great option for backcountry enthusiasts who tend to experience maybe bushwhacking, or they're going to be doing a little bit more climbing and they want something a bit more rugged. It comes in various sizes and colors. It sells new for $279. Looking at these two jackets, there are a lot of similarities to note. Both these jackets are relatively lightweight and compressible. Both these jackets feature high quality premium down. Both of them have elastic cuffs, a hood, and pretty good pockets as well. Both these jackets can also be used as a layer underneath a shell, or they can be used as a standalone jacket. They are both windproof and water resistant to an extent. Now let's look at a little bit more of the differences in depth. Starting with the Cerium LT, this features an Arturo tin denier nylon shell. It provides a nice balance of being lightweight, but also being pretty durable. It's a wind-resistant shell to an extent, and it's tin denier ripstop nylon that's also coated with a DWR finish. So this helps repel rain or any kind of drizzle to an extent. Now, you will still want to have a rain shell handy just in case you get heavy downpours as well. But it's super lightweight, it's durable, and it's a good balance of lightweight material, but also give you a little bit of wind resistance in the shell. Looking at the Helium Down Hoodie, this features a hybrid mapped construction on the shell. You have 100% nylon. In areas such as the body, you have 15 denier by 30 denier as well, but you have this really cool material called Arcteryx Shield diamond fused technology, and that's in the specific areas such as the hood, the shoulders, arms, under the arms as well. These are areas that are more prone to abrasion and wear. So if you're wearing a backpack and you get the rubbing as the backpack bounces on the shoulders, you're going to be nice and good because you have that durable material. Where on the Cerium, it can kind of wear into that denier and that outer fabric shell there a little bit more. So something just to keep in mind. Now, what is this technology, you might ask? This Arcteryx shield with diamond fused technology actually uses these certain yarns that have unique diamond shaped filaments. These lock together, creating a durable and highly abrasion resistant fabric. So it's a synthetic shell that really is waterproof and acts almost like a outer shell jacket to an extent in those specific areas. So pretty cool for that. Where you have these areas of this Arcteryx shield diamond fused technology, you have it more in 30 and 20 denier in certain areas. So you have that ripstop lining also that really makes it nice and durable. So if you are kind of rough on your jackets or you want something that's just a little bit more durable, the helium shell here on the jacket is pretty cool. All right, let's talk about the insulation. The insulation on the Arc'teryx Cerium LT features 3.6 ounces of 850 fill power down. So that's premium down that produces a really high loft to keep you nice and warm, but it's lightweight. It also features down composite mapping. So you have synthetic insulation in specific areas that are prone to getting wet, such as the hood, shoulders, and under the arms, and also a little bit in the cuffs as well. And so rather than using hydrophobic down, that's the way they chose to go with that synthetic insulation there. And so in case those areas get wet, it'll still keep you nice and warm. In those areas, you actually have 80 to 100 grams of Korloff compact synthetic insulation. It has a nice balance between weight and warmth, between this synthetic insulation and down insulation, but also does a good job of keeping you warm. Let's talk about the Helium Down Hoodie. The Helium Down Hoodie actually has 800 fill power down, and that's 800 fill power throughout. So they don't use synthetic insulation per se, but they do use that synthetic shell-like material in the areas that are more prone to getting wet. So it's an interesting strategy that the Helium Down Hoodie chooses to do to be more weather resistant compared to the Cerium. The Cerium uses the same denier throughout, but uses synthetic insulations that are more prone to getting wet, where the Helium will actually use down throughout the jacket, but then in those specific areas that are prone to getting wet, they actually use a shell-like material that is waterproof with that diamond fused technology. So that is pretty cool as well. But the Helium Down Hoodie features that 800 fill down, and it does a good job of keeping you warm. Both these jackets, the fill is RDS certified down, so you can rest assured that is ethically treated down as well. So let's talk about the weight. The weight of the Cerium LT is 10.8 ounces, so it doesn't weigh down your pack or anything. It's a relatively lightweight for the amount of warmth that it does provide, so pretty cool at that. The Helium, on the other hand, weighs 15.5 ounces. And it's borderline between lightweight and midweight. And that's because you do have these reinforced areas and you actually have more fill down inside of this jacket. So that does add to the weight a bit, but you really have to consider when you're considering these two jackets. Yes, the Cerium wins in terms of being lightweight, but for the pros and cons that you're getting with the extra weight of the Helium, you have to really consider, is it worth that? And we'll talk more about that. Well, let's consider the warmth. The warmth of the Cerium LT actually is pretty good. I started to feel cold around 28 degrees while wearing actually a base layer underneath. And that is while I was standing still with the Cerium LT. Now, when I was moving, I could actually go down a lot colder because of the warmth your own body creates. And when I was moving with just a base layer, I was actually started to feel cold around 23 degrees. So pretty significant for how lightweight this is. It does do a good job keeping you warm. Now compare that to the Helium jacket. I started to feel cold around 27 degrees with just a base layer on. So the reason that I was able to go a bit lower in temperature was because you do have the outer shell that does a better job of keeping you warm because it reflects the wind a whole lot better than tin denier. So something to keep in mind with that. Now, as I was moving, I started to feel cold also around 21 degrees with just a base layer on. So overall, the warmer jacket is going to be the Helium compared to the two, but you are doing that at a cost of 5 ounces more. So something just to consider about that as far as the warmth. Let's talk about the baffles. Both these jackets have down baffles that are sewn in and stitched, and it seems that the Cerium actually feels a bit more lofty in those baffles, and it does use higher quality down, so something just to keep in mind. But what I did find with these jackets is, with the Cerium in particular, you do have, where you have the sewn in baffles, you do have some down leakage at times. So that's something just to keep in mind. I found that to be more prevalent with the Cerium LT than the Helium. These baffles do a good job of keeping the down in the places rather than it falling out throughout the jacket. But where you do have those stitching, you don't have down. So something just to keep in mind, kind of the pros and cons of having baffles. But both of these do a good job of keeping you warm. Let's talk about the pockets. The Cerium LT basically has 2 side pockets on the outer side. They're tilted to kind of allow you to have your hands in your pockets a whole lot easier and more comfortable. They're also slightly raised a little bit, but that's so that you can actually wear a backpacking hip belt or maybe a climbing harness. But they are small kind of pockets as well. So if the harness rubs up a little bit higher than normal, it could possibly cut off some of the pockets there to where it might be hard to get your hands in. But because they're slightly raised, it should be sufficient. Now let's compare that with the Helium Down Hoodie. The jacket pockets are a bit bigger and they're more straight up and down rather than slanted like the Cerium. But the Helium actually has their pockets lower, and that's actually more comfortable. But the thing about that is, if you are wearing a hip belt or if you are wearing a climbing harness, they will get interfered with as well. And so it might be hard to get your hands in your pockets on a cold day if you're wearing those things. So something just to keep in mind. Another cool thing about the Helium in terms of the front pockets is they are lined inside on the knuckle side when your hands are in your pockets. They call this the brush tricot warmth here, and it's on the inside to help keep your hands a little extra warm there. So pretty cool, nice thing at that. Another external pocket that the Helium has is the front chest pocket. And so this does a good job able to put your things in there, so your belongings, an ID, a ski pass, or maybe your keys or something like that. So an additional pocket in the front for the Helium, where you just have 2 on the bottom with the Cerium. Now let's look at the inside pockets. The inside pocket of the Cerium LT features 1 inner chest pocket, and inside this chest pocket you do have that stuff sack in here. I'm not a huge fan of that. I prefer that it would fit in the side front pocket, but because they're smaller, the jacket doesn't fit. So you do have that inner chest pocket there. Now opening up the Helium here, you have 2 nice stuff pockets here. And these stuff pockets I really like. They're also lined as well, so if you have goggles or something in there, they're not going to scratch up or anything. Another cool thing about it is you can stuff your gloves in there, but they're nice and they don't really add to much of the weight because there's no zippers on the inside. So you do have these nice large stuff pockets on the inside. You do not have an inner chest pocket because you have an outer chest pocket. So pretty cool as far as the pockets. A little bit more pockets that come with the Helium Down Hoodie than the Cerium. All right, let's look at the cuffs. Both these jackets have elastic cuffs here. They both do a good job of cinching the jacket around your wrists so that you don't have to have wind drafts coming in your arms or anything. It seems that the Helium Down Hoodie actually has a little bit more elastic, and it feels a little bit more stretchy than the Cerium. The Cerium feels a bit more narrow, kind of slim fitting, and you can feel that with these 2 jackets, where the Helium allows a little bit more give to allow you to go over your glove, where it might be a little bit tight with the Cerium. So something just to keep in mind with that. Now let's talk about the hem cinch cords. Inside the Cerium LT, you actually have 2 hem cinch cords here to help tighten up the bottom of the jacket so you don't get those cold drafts coming in. Looking at the Helium as well, you also have a hem cinch cord, but you only have 1 hem cinch cord here at the bottom. Now, if you do pull this, it might get a little bit longer and hang, where the Cerium actually, you can actually pull 2 of them and it's not going to hang through. So it's something just to keep keep in mind, but both have hem cinch cords and they both do a pretty good job at that. Now let's talk about the weather resistance of these jackets. The Cerium LT is weather resistant to an extent, but you only have tin to near. That will eventually soak through if you get a heavy rain. And if it hits that down insulation, the down insulation will crumple up and it won't be able to maintain its loft, and it won't be a warm jacket as a result. So you do want to have a shell for both these jackets really, but the Helium is going to do a whole lot better job at being weather resistant. You have thicker denier, but you also have the shell-like fabric, the outer shell fabric here with that Pertex shield with that diamond technology on the inside that really acts like almost a rain shield there. And so that's really good. It's waterproof, it's wind resistant, so it's a whole lot better at deflecting the weather than the Cerium LT. But like I said, if you do still get a heavy downpour, you still have some of these areas. Now both of them have a DWR finish to repel rain to an extent, but if you get heavy enough rain and you have these jackets, eventually it'll penetrate through, and both of them do not have the hydrophobic down, and so that's something just to consider with that. You will want to still carry a rain shell just in case. So let's talk about the fit. The Cerium LT, as we know, is one of the best fitting jackets if you're athletic, if you're trim fit. It's one of the best fitting jackets if you fall into that category. Now, if you don't, it's not for everyone. And so it is a slim fitting jacket. For me in particular, it's one of my favorite fitting jackets there. But in particular, you have nice articulated arms where you can reach for holds and everything, and it's not feeling constricting or anything. The hood fits pretty well as well. Now for the Helium, it's more of a relaxed fit. It's a little bit more bulkier, you could say, and that allows you to layer underneath. But you also have, it feels a little bit tighter in the arms when I move my arms and stuff with this jacket. Now comparing the front of the jackets, the Cerium actually cuts up a little bit higher, and so there's a little bit more exposed there, where on the Helium, it actually is a little bit longer. It's your typical length jacket, and as a result, it does feel warmer below your waist, which is a good thing. But it does kind of, it'll go, your harness will have to go over that, where the Cerium actually cut it a little bit higher so that the harness can go underneath if possible. So something just to keep in mind, but the fits are relatively good. I could get by with the Helium fit. It's just a little bit more bulkier than the Cerium. Let's talk about the hoods. Both these jackets feature pretty good hoods. They both have elastic on the brims here to kind of maintain the structure as you're wearing it. These are not really helmet compatible hoods. They will go over a helmet, but you'll kind of feel restricting as you move your head. The cool thing about it though is they both have cinch cords on the back here. So if you did want to cinch your hood there to keep it tight from the wind pushing it off or anything, you're able to do that. Now they both have insulation on the hoods, so they're insulated hoods. This one here with the Helium has the down insulation, where, like we said with the Cerium LT, you do have in the hood some of that synthetic Corloft compact insulation in there. So if that does get wet, you're covered to an extent. So hood's relatively good fitting. I tend to prefer the fit of the Cerium LT hood when I'm not wearing a helmet. Let's talk about the zippers. Both these jackets feature YKK zippers. The zippers on the Cerium are going to be a little bit more lightweight, and so they're thinner, a little bit more delicate, where on the Helium you actually have these no snag webbing behind the center, so it's allow you not to get snagged or anything there, and keeps your jacket nice and smooth for the zipper. Now another thing on the zipper is you actually have these longer pull tabs here because they're not considered ultralight. You have longer pull tabs, and that makes it a little bit easier to zip and unzip your jacket while you're wearing gloves. So something just to keep in mind. Now let's talk about the style. Both these jackets are relatively stylish. I really like both these jackets. I like the two-tone color that you get with the Helium. That's kind of what really stood out to me. But as far as style, I can wear both of these really around town and out in the backcountry. But if I had to choose between the two, I do really like the style of the Cerium and the fit of that, and that'd probably be my choice, but you can't go wrong either way. All right, well, let's talk about the compression. Both these jackets compress pretty nicely. Now, the compression of the Cerium LT, like I said, compresses into that stuff sack that's in the inner chest pocket. And we're just gonna go ahead and compact that down in here and just show you what we're talking about. Now, because of the Corloft compact insulation, you still have that synthetic insulation on the inside, so it's still relatively compressible, but not completely compressible as maybe just a down only jacket. So we'll go ahead and fill that here. All right, so here is the Cerium LT all compressed down. You do have this little tab here to attach it to a carabiner, and you do have this kind of cinch cord here to tighten it down. So this is in the inner stuff sack, relatively about the size of maybe an Nalgene water bottle, so pretty good at that. So let's go ahead and compress the Helium Down Hoodie, and this one actually compresses into the left front pocket. So this one, because it's all down, will relatively fit in there pretty good. The one thing about it though is you do have that other material, that Pertex shield, which is thicker, so something just to keep in mind. It's not the most compressible jacket, but it still compresses nicely to fit in a backpack. So. All right, so here is the Helium Down Hoodie compressed. You can definitely feel it is the heavier of the two jackets. Now, just comparing them, it is a bit wider. It's about the same height as so. And you can feel you can probably compress the Cerium LT a little bit more than the Helium, but both these jackets can compress relatively good. All right, so concluding thoughts. Overall, both these jackets are really great. You can't go wrong with either one. You really have to ask yourself, you know, what am I intending to use it for? And what are my expectations for it? If you're just using it for something, let's say out in the backcountry to use once you get to your campsite, the Cerium LT is a great jacket. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit more abrasion resistant, something you want to have a little bit more ruggedness to it, then the Helium is an excellent pick. But if I had to choose between these two jackets as which is the best bang for my buck, for me personally, I'm going to have to go with the Helium Down Hoodie, and it's really because the pros outweigh the cons. So the first pro about the Helium Down Hoodie is the cost. This one is $279 compared to the Cerium LT, which is $379. So a $100 difference, which is significant when you really consider what these jackets can do. So something to keep in mind with that. Another pro about the Helium Down Hoodie is you don't have to really baby it as much as you do with the Cerium LT. The Cerium LT is going to be your more delicate jacket, and as a result, it can be prone to holes and stuff like that as you're maybe you're bushwhacking and you get a little twig brush up and produce a hole. Well, all the down insulation is now going to spill out because of that. So something to keep in mind with that, where you have much more ruggedness and durability for the Helium down jacket with that reinforced areas that allow you in order to have more durability. Another pro about the Helium Down Hoodie is it's going to be your warmer jacket. Because the outer shell material can reflect the wind a lot better, you're not going to have cold drafts penetrate through, even in the areas where you have the seams in between the baffles. Also, it has more down inside of it, so you are going to have your warmer jacket be the Helium Down Hoodie. Another pro is because of those reinforced areas, it's more weather resistant than the Cerium LT. The Cerium LT is using 10 denier on the outer shell, where you have 20 denier, 30 denier in specific areas, and then that diamond fused technology on the shoulders and the hood. And those areas are actually waterproof. So it's almost like a rain shell up there, and it gives you that extra durability and confidence. If you do get a downpour, you'll have more able to withstand the rain with that than you would with the Cerium LT. However, that doesn't mean it's completely waterproof throughout. You do have this regular shell material here, and with heavy enough rains, it can get to the down. Now, that's something just to keep in mind. Make sure you bring a rain shell, but you have a lot more confidence in the Helium Down Hoodie being more durable and weather resistant. Another pro about the Helium Down Hoodie is the pockets. You have much more pockets. You have these pockets here that are lined with fleece to keep your hands nice and warm. You also have that front chest pocket, which comes in handy if you have chapstick or keys or an ID or something. And then those two big pockets on the inside where you can stuff your gloves or your goggles. So pretty cool with that, where with the Cerium LT, you just have the front and you have that inner chest pocket, which is a bit awkward because then you have to open your jacket just to get to it. So pros, you have more pocket options with the Helium. Now let's consider the cons. The first con of the Helium Down Hoodie is obviously it's going to be your heavier jacket. It comes in about 5 ounces heavier, but for the ruggedness and durability that you're getting, you really have to ask yourself, is it worth it for me for that? And that's something every backpacker will just have to come to conclusion on their own. But it is going to be the heavier the jacket because of all the different features that it has over the Cerium LT. Another con about the Helium Down Hoodie is that it is using slightly less quality down. So you have 800 fill power as opposed to 850 fill power with the Cerium. And so as a result, it's going to be naturally a little bit heavier, and it's going to require a bit more down to achieve the same level of warmth. Another con about the Helium Down Hoodie is that the down that they use is not hydrophobic down. It's not treated down. So if it does get wet, it's going to lose its loft and won't be able to retain the heat. But because you have such a more durable shell and a rain resistant shell in the areas that are prone to getting wet, you're more likely going to have a jacket last longer in your colder and wet environments than opposed to like the Cerium LT. Another con about the Helium Down Hoodie is it's going to be a little bit more bulky of a jacket. It's not as trim fitting compared to the Cerium LT. Also, it's going to be a little bit harder to compress because you do have this more rugged material, shell material on the outside, but it's still compressible to an extent, but something just to keep in mind. However, overall, as you consider the pros and the cons of the Helium Down Hoodie, really this is the best bang for your buck when considering these two jackets. So what did you think of these two jackets? Who won the jacket battle for you? Was it the Arc'teryx Cerium LT or was it the Outdoor Research Helium Down Hoodie? Leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. If you like what you saw, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Also subscribe for more jacket battle content like this. And as always, thanks for watching.